Good morning, y'all. It's Happy Wednesday. It's a great day to be alive and have a food forest. Maybe that should be my signature opening. Oh man, spring is just glorious. I picked the plums yesterday. Today I'm picking, I have a little bag in my hand and my scale, and I am picking tomatoes because, first of all, grandbaby number 2 and her mama, my sweet daughter-in-law, they're going to be here in a little bit. They're going to bring me some kefir. My gut's still not 100%, so she thought maybe that would help straighten it out. But in return, I said, do you need stuff? Of course, she'll take some eggs. But the grandbaby's going to be sitting in the Bible study for a little bit, so I thought I'd keep her entertained with some fresh tomatoes. And then I would also give you an update on some other things in the garden. But here we go. This is the Everglades cherry tomato that we put in a month ago at least. Sitting next to a little plumeria that did nothing last year. But it's looking like I'm going to get some flowers and see what color it is. I honestly have no idea what this one looks like. Jack bought a bunch, like 5 different types of plumeria from, what is he eating? What are you eating? Are you eating corn or collards? Maybe I should feed him another breakfast. Anyhow, he bought a bunch off a lady in Central Brevard, and a couple of them I know the colors, and this one I did not know the color of. So it has not loved the shade as much, but it's gonna make it pull through. But anyhow, back on tomatoes. Let's get some of these. Can y'all see past some of that tomato-ish love? Okay. These are super prolific, so I'm gonna try to keep up with them. I need to tell my neighbor, give her a message to let her know that some of these are for her to pick, because they're starting to go through the fence now, and they'll trail across the top of the fence, and I want her to be able, she's a vegetarian. I want her to be able to, I don't think that'll taste as good. I want her to be able to grab as many. So the sun is just coming over the treetops and the rooftops. And first of all, the gladiolus are doing really good. I only have 7 of the hardies so far. They seem to be having a little trouble poking out. But I think we have 100%, is it germination? What is it when the bulb goes? Anyhow, we'll call it germination. I think we have 100% germination on the pink parrot and the rostov. So that's pretty cool. So over here, back on tomatoes, I'm trying to stay focused, but I haven't shown you some of these things in so long. This is the red snapper, and this is the Florida 91, if I remember right. And this red snapper is humongous. It is, but we're gonna continue let it ripening on the vine. Now they're both pretty good, these Florida 91s. So let's come on down here and look at the little Anise Hyssop. Update you on a couple things. Can you see they've got little bitty, kind of like cattails, but smaller, and they're pink. Maybe a better word for it would be bottle brush. I don't know. The corns, more silks are getting pollinated. I love that. They're not going to be giant. Well, maybe the rain will fill them out. Who knows? And then we have the radish. It looks like I have some French breakfast radish. Definitely going to make it going to seed. I was just looking in here, and it looks like the turnips are just rotting on their tops. They're probably not going to seed, which is sad. I was hoping to save those, but maybe not. At least we got 1 for 2 on that. The beefsteak, man, I don't know. It put out its winter flush, and it's not even putting out. Oh yeah. Okay, I was gonna lie. It does have some blooms there, but my goodness, I think now the nights are about 72 degrees. That probably won't produce any tomatoes. I'm gonna leave it for now, but it probably won't produce any tomatoes. When the nights start going over, I generally say 70, but it could be 71, 72 degrees. I'm gonna set that down. Then that's kind of the end for the heirloom tomatoes like beefsteaks. This is Chef's Choice Bicolor, and it looks fantastic, except for it has not put on, and it's been a single tomato, and it's been here for months. And look, it is having bloom drop. See how the, all right, you guys, I look completely different because this is 5 days later. I was editing the video and I totally realized my battery was cutting off, and I knew that it was overheating. I ended up having to throw it away. It was like about to blow up or something. It was stuck in the camera. It just overheated and it was bad. So anyhow, now that I realize I never gave you ending, I never even gave you a finished explanation of the bloom drop, let's finish that. So I believe we were right here on this. This is Chef's Choice Bicolor hybrid tomato, and it does have a bunch of blooms on it, right? But right now, currently, our nights are ranging anywhere from 71 to 72, 73 degrees. So this is what a normal bloom looks like. And if you still have hybrids, small tomatoes, or even cherry tomatoes, your blooms will probably just be fine. You know, tap them a little bit, get the pollen. You don't need bees necessarily, but you know, just tap them, or let the wind do that, and they'll become fruit. But what I was going to show you was that this one right here has lost every one of its blooms, and so therefore, and they turn yellow. You can see that, and yeah, so they turn yellow and drop off. That is when my nights were hotter, and so it will not set fruit, especially on an heirloom variety. Like we were showing that one over there, the heirlooms, not so good. Some of the hybrids that are really big, like this one, also can do this. Early on, if you're in Central Florida with me, a lot of you are, this is normal May behavior. Very typical, and that's why I make that push so hard that we have to get our tomatoes in the ground by February 15th. If you're in zone 10A, you know, you can play with those dates a little bit based on your microclimates, and maybe if you're a little half zone above me, or above or below, or whatever, you know, but if you're in 10A like me and you're a Central Florida gardener, it's gonna happen. You can't fight genetics and nature. This is just what they do. And so we learn to be a better gardener by we learn to be a better gardener by smartly planting in better times with better weather. So anyhow, you can see down here, it's still putting out blooms. Like, these are new, they're gonna still go. These are the ones right before, they're yellowing. These are gonna drop off. Right here, see how there's at that segment, we go from green to yellow? That's gonna be completely gone. It'll drop off. I don't expect any fruit. I'm a little sad because this particular tomato did make it into this spot early enough to produce fruit, and I have zero idea what in the world, you know, why it has not produced a single tomato along this whole area. Every one of these, ooh, got a bug hit me in the face. None of this is producing. It makes no sense to me why it seems kind of sterile. I'm pretty certain I had fresh seed, and this is not off my own saved seed. So anyhow, sometimes you just win some, sometimes you lose some, and you know, this will eventually, blight will catch up with it. Let's see if we can find, you know, this is blight starting to travel, and it'll go up. You see how these leaves are light, you know, the veining is still green, but they're getting lighter, and eventually that'll travel up this whole plant, and the whole plant will succumb to blight, because we're getting to that point where we've definitely been getting rain every day for like 5 days in a row, ever since I got home, and even a little before I got home from Kentucky. So anyhow, all of these, they're just going to be wiped out by the humidity, the blight, the heat, the rain. But, oh, that's not Buddy. Oh, we had a little change this morning. I'm babysitting my grand dog, and then that's Buddy. And she She looks a lot like him, so it threw me off there. Let's see. Uh-oh. So sorry, we had a walker go by, and then Waffles just got tangled, and she doesn't know to look out for the string right there. She got tangled and kind of had to just shut off the camera. So anyhow, let's update you real quick. We got a few extra minutes, and this is my little front flower garden. And look, we are starting to see the Oklahoma salmons open up. These African marigolds right here, they're taller than other types of marigolds. Look really good. Here's some more of, I think this is Oklahoma salmon. We did have some, what was the other? We had some other zinnias in here. Like a red cactus or something like that. We have a lot of, I think all of the gladioluses popped up here. I think I counted all 20. And this is the black-eyed Susan, and look at this. We're starting to see it. Probably by the time I'm going on another quick trip, a weekend trip, but when I get back, I'm guessing these will be so close to blooming. So that's the black-eyed Susan. These are the little tiny dainty marigolds. I forgot their name. Their name's over here. Dainty Marietta. Oh, this one's getting covered up. I was afraid of that a little bit. There's another. This one's a little bit better. This shows the beautiful salmon color on that zinnia. So anyhow, and we have lots of sunflowers in here. We got the Hopi dye. We had I don't know. I can't remember now. My brain is not there. And look, of those African marigolds, some are more goldeny and some were more orangey. But that's what happens when you just grab seeds, and perhaps perhaps they were a hybrid, and so therefore they're not coming true to just one color. They were originally gold. I see baby tomatoes down there. What in the world? What are you? Oh, who knows? These are also butterfly peas, which are blue. We do little fun things like make tea with them. The tropical sage, salvia, doing great things. So anyhow, I just wanted to show you, I was very concerned. We had hail the other night. Very concerned about the hail, that it would just wipe out this flower bed in particular. You know, there's a lot of things that are fading that wouldn't bother me. Maybe the peppers would have bothered me, but anyhow, yeah, I was so afraid this whole bed would be laid over, and it wasn't. It actually made it through. Let's see, here's some more sunflowers. Look, the purple hyacinth bean is starting to bloom over there. We have the white vinca or periwinkle down in the front there. And here we go with the rest of the, this is a mammoth sunflower. I forgot what uh-oh. See this? That has to come out. That's all vinca reseeding itself. Anyhow, this is not that video for that. And we got the pineapples, a couple of them in there. Our purple rose, climbing rose. It is loving this rain, but it hasn't yet branched out. So maybe I'll cut that there, and or maybe I can train this side to branch this way and that one to branch that way. That would be super cool. Okay, let's see. I've talked your ears off a little bit more. We'll do a separate video on peppers. I want so badly to show you almost all the peppers have fruit on them. The African, I was talking to Patrina from Homegrown, Florida. We were I think it was her. She put the video out. Was that her, or was it Jacqueline from Wild Floridian? Anyhow, one of them was looking at foxglove. And this is, if you're watching, this is African foxglove. It's a perennial. It came all the way back. This is the white variety. I have the purple variety too. It's doing fantastic. My mullein has really responded to all that extra rain. Oh, it's so soft. Is this the toilet paper plant? I would definitely use that for toilet paper in a life, strange situation. But I see the new growth. That looks beautiful. And it's also doubled in size. So that came from a dear and precious friend of mine that lives in the very tippy top of the north end of the county. And so she has it in her yard, and she had it in a pot, and she said, just take it. She's not feeling well. If you would like to pray for Liz, I would definitely appreciate it. I know she would too. So now this leads us right back to that beef steak that I was just editing that video. And here is the tomato that was hiding in there. Again, we're starting to see the signs of blight are coming in, and that's normal. And I definitely don't want you guys to go, oh, you can... And you probably can. You could probably spray it with something, some hydrogen peroxide and water, and, you know, and get it going for another week or two. But I just don't think you're just not going to change what the weather is going to do and what the genetics cannot overcome on this heirloom. So anyhow, that came in a question that was just asked me yesterday, I think it was. And so anyhow, it's weird that I was already thinking that and putting that video together last week. And so now I hope you see the end of it. And also I picked, oh, while we're on it, I guess this is a tomato video. And so this one had the two Florida 91s, and they were both about 0.6 pounds. We weighed the the red snapper, and that was almost 0.6 pounds. Doing really great. Again, now these are determinants. They only put on so much fruit and then they die. And as you can see, the Florida 91 has done a good job of putting on its fruit. Oh, I see some blushing back there, right there. But again, bloom drop, bloom drop, bloom drop. Okay, so that's just the way it's going to go. We're seeing some signs of blight coming in. This is the red snapper. You know, it's just not going to be a tremendous year because, first of all, I don't love the way this bed was amended. It had the fresh wood chips that took away a lot of the nitrogen. It just like drotted away. But so this summer and fall, we're going to be re-amending all the beds with fresh mushroom compost. And yes, it's going to be a huge financial hit. But I just felt like my garden struggled a little bit more. Did okay with the chicken manure and the aged horse manure. But, you know, I mean, look at this. This bed's performing pretty good, and it had the chicken and the horse manure in it. But this little section of the bed in particular did not like having all the wood chips on it, fresh wood chips. And this is my Tavor artichoke. And it's like way behind. It should be throwing a chute with artichokes in it. And I'm wondering if that is just because of all, and the squash didn't do well here either. Is that this soil? So we will be saving up money this summer in order to re-amend all these beds with mushroom compost. They just need it. I guess that just fell off. I mean, it's just sitting randomly on the ground. This is a big beef hybrid. Doing pretty good for the most part with the shade cloth. Those are probably more of the same. But hold on. Again, I want to give you a pepper tour here in just a minute. Not a minute, but like in the next video or two. But I want to definitely go through some things that have been going on. I'm seeing a lot of yellowing with my paste tomatoes, my Roma tomatoes. They have not been happy pretty much at all. And I don't understand. This is not a paste tomato, although it's not a regular shaped tomato either. Something's weird with this one. Genetically, might have been like the parent seed was messed with and crossed with something. I'm seeing a lot of dieback. I'm seeing a lot of, this is not showing it. These are Salvatierra Selects. These look better, but I have been seeing some blossom and rot just on these couple right in here. So something's going on with my soil. Needs calcium or a way to take up the calcium. And these look pretty good. So if you hear something, that's my hat running on the shade cloth. Oh yeah. Sign of blossom and rot, really. So again, not great. I did have a federally Oh, where'd it go? Well, there's one. Very puny. That was probably because of the drought, and now we're getting a lot of rain, so I have to now be careful of splitting from excess water. This one looks pretty good. It survived the not so much splitting, but anyhow, and I've had a little bit of armyworms damage in here. The heat-loving paste tomato and then the Abu Ruwan at the end are still growing fine. They have not been, I did see flowers here with the, like the Juliet paste. Oh yeah, here they are. Look, can you see that? They're coming on really nice. That's the first time I'm seeing that. And then the Abu Ruwan should have been these 4 down here. I need to tie this one up. Just starting to get to the bloom stage right there. I don't know why that one, look at how puny that one is. Why is that? Anyhow, and I gotta pull weeds in here and put a cover on it, or I might just cover it, go on my vacation, and then come back and deal with the weeds. That's probably the best way to deal with it. Anyhow, it is vacation season in May, and then we'll be back to a normal regular schedule. But anyhow, everything's doing really well out here, but it is getting close to the end of the season unless you have heat-loving plants, cherry tomatoes, small salad-type tomatoes. The heirlooms are phasing themselves out. The hybrids are finishing off, and also will be the next to succumb to the blight and the blossom end drop. Not blossom, the bloom drop, sorry. It's a Monday, and I'm having to like recall these videos and the content. But anyhow, I think that'll be good for now, and that kind of finishes out our thoughts in that video that I started making last week. So anyhow, you guys, with that said, take care, God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.